We'll start by arriving on our mats, coming into a comfortable seated position, either on the sit bones or on the knees. Take a deep breath, reaching both arms up to the sky, gathering in all that energy, and then releasing yourself all the way down into your child's pose. Extending both arms out in front of you, allowing the forehead to rest gently on the mat, and just bringing all of your awareness to your breath. Every inhale, feel it filling you up and energizing you. And every out-breath, calming the mind and relaxing the body. Feel it warming through the nose, down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs all the way to the pit of the belly. And then releasing all that energy back out. Using your breath as an anchor to hold you here within the mat space. Letting go of everything that happened before class and forgetting about everything you have going on afterwards. Inhale. Exhale. Make your way into an all-fours position. Shoulders stacked above the wrists, hips above the knees, and we'll go for puppy pose. Keeping your hips above the knees, slowly walk your hands out in front of you. Allow your chest and upper body to slowly lower towards the mat, forehead resting gently on the earth. Spreading wide through the fingers as your shoulders relax down and away from the ears. The belly is in. Hips traction up and back, creating space within the spine. The arms are engaged, with the elbows slightly off the ground. Slowly lift your head from the floor. Walk your hands back towards your body, coming back through tabletop. And from here, nice and easily, tuck the toes, lift the hips, drop the head, and press back, downward facing dog. Your first down dog of the practice, feel free to shift around a bit, bending through one knee and then the other, taking your dog on a little walk. Pressing evenly into both hands and ensuring every knuckle is pressing down into the mat. The shoulders roll down and in, and the hips traction up and back. On an inhale, elongating the spine and creating space within the body. And on the exhale, slowly walking your feet forward to meet the hands. Grabbing onto opposite elbow. The head is heavy, releasing any tension through the head and the neck as you rock the torso from side to side. On an inhale, hands come to the shins or to the ground, halfway lift. And on an exhale, folding forward over the legs. Inhale, arms circle, root to rise, maybe looking up. And exhale, hands in prayer in front of the heart. Closing down the eyes and taking this opportunity to just find your center. Feel the feet ground into the mat beneath you. Feel your heart beating in your chest, reminding you of your practice, of your presence, and of your breath. On an inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, dive all the way down into forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step back into your plank position and slowly lower Chaturanga Dandasana all the way to the mat. Bring the hands out wider than the mat, fingers face slightly out, the elbows are up. And from here, we'll elongate through some cobras. On an inhale, start to rise, lift the chest one vertebrae at a time, the head coming up last. And exhale, slowly lowering all the way back down. Elbows stay up. Continue moving with your breath, inhaling deeply on the way up, and exhaling slowly on the way down. One breath, one movement. Feeling into the spine, Feel it opening up and releasing. Next time you find yourself on the way down, bring the hands back into the body and press back for a transitional child's pose. Hips to the heels, forehead resting gently on the mat as you energize out through the fingertips. Maybe shifting your head from side to side, giving yourself a nice forehead massage. On an inhale, rise back up to tabletop. And on the exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet, shifting around the energy as you feel the body start to open. From here, nice and easy, lift your right foot off the mat on an inhale and step it to the outside of your right hand, coming into your lizard pose. Drop the back left knee down to the mat. Hands are grounded. Staying here, or maybe you'd like to come on down onto the forearms. Or another variation is to come out onto the blade edge of that right foot, using the right hand to press the knee out towards the right side of the mat, pressing the knee away from you as you slightly lean back. Finding whatever variation works for you and your body, and just holding here. Maybe closing down the eyes as you connect to the breath. Feeling into the tension and just breathing into it. Wherever you are, releasing, coming back. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and we're going to transition into pigeon. Extend the right leg back to a three-legged dog, and then bring the shin forward parallel to the front edge of the mat as you release the back knee down, extending the back leg straight back. Option to put a block under the front hip for support here, and slowly lower the chest towards the floor, keeping the sternum moving forward to lengthen the spine. Maybe using the forearms for support, or walking the hands all the way out so the forehead can rest gently on the floor. Wherever you are, simply softening the gaze and just breathing into it. Just a couple more breaths here. Slowly crawl the hands back up into the body, lifting the chest, taking your time. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and gently press back, three-legged dog. And on an exhale, step that right foot forward between the hands, coming into runner's lunge. Roll the shoulders down the back, extending out through the heart space. Release the back knee down to the ground. Untuck the back toes. And on an exhale, shift back, straightening through the right leg as you make your way into half splits. Keep your hips square and stacked over your left knee. Staying where you are, or option to shift forward into your variation of the full splits. If you're somewhere in the middle, maybe placing a block or two underneath the sit bones. Another option would be to place blocks underneath the hands. Going as deep into the posture as feels good. Finding your edge. And then finding the stillness. Trying to avoid being fidgety here. As you allow your breath to calm the mind and soften the body. And slowly releasing. Tuck the back toes and press back into the hands, slowly making your way into a downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here, releasing any tension, and just feeling into the echo of what you just did. And we'll go for the other side. Nice and easy left leg lifts, and stepping it forward to the outside of the left hand. Lower the back knee down to the mat, untuck the toes, and then finding your variation of lizard. Maybe staying here. Maybe you come down onto the forearms, continuing to lift through the chest. Or maybe coming onto the blade edge of the left foot as you use the left hand to push the knee out away from you. Knowing that there's no right or wrong way to do the pose. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be. And releasing. Planting the palms back up, tuck the back toes, and gently press back to a three-legged dog. Bringing the shin forward parallel to the front edge of the mat. Placing your blocks or props wherever you need them for support. As you slowly start to lower the chest towards the floor, keeping the sternum moving forward to lengthen the spine. Finding a position that feels right for you. Breathing into it. And finding stillness. Feeling deep into the largest space within the body, the hip joint. And working deep into the connective tissue. Working on releasing stress, anger, and frustration, while promoting circulation and moisturizing the joints. We'll hold here for a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly coming back up. Tuck the back toes and carefully press back to a three-legged dog. Bring the foot forward in between the hands. Release the back knee down to the mat, untuck the back toes, finding length on the inhale, and shifting back to half splits on the exhale. Option to stay here, or maybe shifting forward, coming into your variation of full splits on the other side. Using your blocks or props to support you as you find your edge within the pose. Feeling into the stretch, breathing into the tension, and finding the stillness. If ever your mind starts to wander, simply noticing it and coming back to the breath. Inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly. And slowly release. Tuck the back toes and press back, downward facing dog. Shifting the energy around, pedaling out the feet, and just feeling into the space you've just created within the body. From here, drop the knees down to the mat, crawl them forward, cross the feet behind you, and come into a seated position. Extend the legs out in front of you. sitting up nice and tall. Pick up the right leg and place it over the left, 2 knees stacked right on top of one another, coming into half shoelace. On an inhale, sit up straight, and on the exhale, slowly crawl the hands forward to your own degree. Feeling into the tremendous stretch down the entire back of the legs. As you relax and melt into it. Just a couple more breaths here. And releasing, slowly crawling the hands back up into the body, and we'll go for fire log pose. Place the right ankle just above the left knee, and bend the left knee in so both shins are parallel to the front of the mat. Maybe placing a block or thickly folded blanket under the top knee for support. Or option to come into an easy seated position if this is too intense. Wherever you are, slowly start to walk the hands forward, hinging at the hips. Breathing deep into the hip joint on the inhale. And noticing some of the tension start to release on the exhale. Breathing into whatever you're feeling. And seeing how much you can release and let go. And slowly coming out of it. Walk the hands back into the body. Lean back onto the hands and slowly windshield wiper the legs from side to side. Extend the legs back out in front of you. Bend the left leg up and over the right, 2 knees in one line. Inhale, sit up nice and straight. And on the exhale, slowly start to fold over the legs to your own degree. Feeling into the stretch, going as deep as you can here, as deep as feels good. And slowly start to feel the tension melt away. Slowly crawl both hands back into the body. Left ankle to right knee to left ankle. Shins parallel to the front of the mat, setting up for fire log on the other side. On an inhale, sit up, nice flat back. And on the exhale, crawling the hands out away from you as you slowly start to fold forward. Last few breaths here. And slowly walk the hands back up into the body. Lean back onto the hands and slowly windshield wiper the legs. Straighten the legs straight out in front of you, sitting up nice and straight on an inhale, and folding forward over the legs on the exhale. Elongating through the spine with every inhale, and melting deeper into the pose with every exhale. Slowing down the breath. Deep, slow inhales. And long, slow exhales. And slowly release. Crawl the hands back up, making your way down onto your back. We'll hug the knees into the chest, and then extend the arms out to the side like a T. Slowly drop the legs over to the right, turning the gaze out over the left shoulder for a nice and easy reclined twist. Maybe closing down the eyes here if it feels nice. And just breathing into that lower back region. And when you're ready, coming back through center, before dropping the legs over to the left, positioning your neck wherever feels comfortable, breathing into the twist, and just relaxing here. And we'll go ahead and come back through center. Hug the knees into the chest, and on an inhale, tuck the forehead into the knees like a little ball, before exhale, releasing all the way down onto your back for your final resting pose, Shavasana. The legs extend out in front of you. The arms rest gently, palms face up next to the body. Closing down the eyes, and seeing how much you can relax and let go. Gently start to bring some awareness back into the body. Rolling out the ankles or the wrists. Maybe shifting the head from side to side. And we'll go for a big body yawn. Arms stretch out away from you. Legs extend out in front of you. Maybe bringing the knees into the forehead before slowly rolling up to a comfortable seat. Shoulders roll down the back, sitting up nice and tall. The hands are in prayer in front of the chest. Bring the hands to the forehead for clarity, to the lips for compassion, and down to the heart space for wisdom. The love and light in me recognizes that same love and light in you. Together we say, Namaste.